Hey, Pete216 State here, and in today's video, we'll be looking at 5 reasons why I'm not going to buy the Asus ROG Ally just yet. I definitely do plan on buying it at some point, as many of the reviewers have pointed out that it has so many great features like the 1080p and 120Hz display, but there are 5 reasons stopping me from buying it right now. Before we get started, I just want to say a massive thank you as always for all of your amazing support to the channel. As of this recording, we've now smashed through 42,000 views and 1,400 watched hours after only launching the channel just over 4 weeks ago. If you enjoy these videos, then please like and subscribe so we can reach our next milestone of 500 subscribers. In fact, I just did a video saying a massive thank you for helping us reach our recent milestone of 250 subscribers, so please check that out after this video. So, without further ado, let's get into it. At number 5 is the fact that I just picked up Tears of the Kingdom on my brilliant OLED Switch. As I'm sure you've read already, the game has had rave reviews and is currently at 96% on Metacritic, ranking it already as one of the very best games of all time. This is going to be my game of the summer, where most of my summer nights will be spent in the garden playing this, and howlongtobeat.com has it currently listed as 116 hours to fully complete, so this will be a big focus instead of picking up the Ally and playing games on that. At number 4 is that early reviews of the hardware of the Ally, namely the buttons, the D-pad and the thumbsticks, are being rated much below the awesome Steam Deck's hardware controls. Check out a clip of this great review by Digital Trends, link in the description below.
Where the Ally takes a clear back seat is in buttons. This isn't Switch Joy-Con levels of bad, but it's shocking just how much worse the thumbsticks, triggers, and especially the D-pad feel compared to the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck feels like you're using a first-party controller, where the ROG Ally feels like the $30 knockoff controller you'd force your friend to use. Like, it's serviceable, it's just not ideal.
And this is especially important for the D-pad, as probably the biggest emulation console I play is the Super Nintendo, where using a high-quality D-pad is incredibly important. Not only that, but Not Your Food 1667 quite rightly pointed out issues with buttons actually sticking on the Ally, with the legend that is Linus highlighting this in his awesome review video, the link in the description.
There are drawbacks. No touchpads, no 16:10 display, and the face buttons are not great. I managed to get the X button jammed on mine at least a dozen times on my playthrough of Stray on the Ally, and I hoped that the production version would be a bit better, but the bad news is it's not. Well, maybe a little better. Oh, it's jammed. Yeah, maybe a little bit of lube would help. But I told them when they came in, I was like, you guys need to fix this in the final tooling, and it's pretty clear based on how similar this is to our prototype, it was already pretty much mass production.
And linked to this at number 3 is the software on the Ally will take time to mature, and patches to make the user experience smoother may take many months. Valve have quite rightly been highly praised for their commitment to push out patch fixes on an almost daily basis for the Steam Deck, and they have a whole year head start on the Ally, with Asus's Armoury Crate software being a long way to go before it being a smooth console-like experience. Check out this great review again by Digital Trends, who detail the software pains they currently are experiencing with the Ally.
It's really clear, honestly, that Asus is making a big attempt to provide the portable gaming experience without forcing you onto the desktop. That effort doesn't always pay off, though. First off, you can't see your library of games. Armory Crate hooks into the EA app, GOG Galaxy, Ubisoft Connect, the Epic Games Store, Steam, and the Xbox app, but it only scans games from those libraries that you already have installed. You can't do any management from Armory Crate, so you have to go to the desktop to actually install and uninstall games. They only show up in the app after you've already installed them. And this can lead to some pretty unfortunate situations if you're jumping between games. There's no way to force a game to close through Armory Crate, so there were a few times where I would go to boot up a game on the Xbox app only to find that a game on Steam didn't close properly and was actually running in the background. This sends you down a loop of opening Task Manager, trying to find the process, and manually closing it. You can kind of see this as more of a laptop experience and not a handheld console experience. For the Steam Deck, you have an operating system that's mimicking a console. With the ROG Ally, you have a laptop with a utility that mainly focuses on managing your device and launching your games.
At number 2 is the big question that many of us gamers have, which is what will the Switch 2 or Switch Pro be like? Recent articles have suggested that Sharp are already working on it, and if Nintendo can create the new version Switch with a much more powerful processor, similar to at the very least the Z1 standard version of the Ally, together with a 1080p display as found in the Ally, then the new Switch could blow the Ally out of the water. While not all viewers like J.R. Chucks in my recent video of the top 7 Ally reviews here on the channel agreed with the Ally review done by Mrwhosetheboss, he does have a valid argument in holding out for the new Switch.
Switch at this point is on 69%. It's almost like you planned that, Nintendo. I mean, for me personally, that is a deciding factor. I mean, sure, you could say, well, the Switch is only running Mario Kart, that was running a proper PC title, but that is the entire point of the device. Now, you can force the chip to consume a lower wattage and push up the battery all the way to about 4 hours, but that's only going to work if you wanted to also scale down the quality of the game you were playing on it, to the point where what you have would be no better looking than the Switch. This feeling that the ROG can give you, when everything just works, it is basically everything I've ever dreamed of since I was this tall. But unless you've really done your research and you're happy to put up with all the grievances that come with it, for an average user, I think the traditional handheld is still the better option. Not to mention that the Switch is due an upgrade in the next couple of years, which should hopefully bridge a lot of the gap in terms of graphics, while also giving you the conveniences of a purpose-built gaming machine.
And finally, at number 1 is the fact that I think I've already found my perfect gaming setup. I love a recent comment here on the channel by Andy Artmaster 101, where he's pre-ordered the ROG Ally and he currently has the Steam Deck and also a Switch. And I think that we as gamers should just find what gaming devices suit our own personal needs and budgets. Many times it's so easy for us as gamers to be tribalistic and to greatly side with one gaming platform and despise the others, with this always being the case in video game history, such as the Super Nintendo via the Mega Drive battle. But if we can just step back and just appreciate that us as gamers have never had it so good, then that's a really healthy mentality to have. In my gaming setup, I absolutely love my Switch to play all the awesome first-party Nintendo games, and as mentioned now Tears of the Kingdom. I absolutely love my Steam Deck to play pretty much any game from any console in history, particularly my favourite console growing up, the Super Nintendo. I absolutely love my Xbox Series X to play Xbox exclusives like the incredible Horizon 5 and the exploration of new games I'd never otherwise buy with the amazing Game Pass. And I absolutely love my PS5 to play all the latest AAA games and also my personal favourite genre of video games, which is the third-person action adventure games that the PS5 exclusives do so brilliantly. So there we have it, 5 reasons why just at the moment I'm holding off from buying the Ally for the time being. And I'd love to hear what you think in the comments below. If you've pre-ordered the Ally already, what were the deciding factors that convinced you to do it? Or are you like me and holding off getting the Ally? And if so, what are your reasons for not pre-ordering the device? Well, that's it for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.